Let's start today talking a little bit about vaccines. At this relatively later stage in the pandemic for the United States, there's much still to be done globally. But at this stage in the US, where we could be moving even more quickly in crushing the virus, 41% of Republicans still refuse to get themselves vaccinated. And sadly, this number is down only 2 percentage points from last month. You might remember last month we had a new poll which said 43% of Republicans are refusing the COVID vaccine. That has declined, but only 2 percentage points to 41. This is a new PBS NPR Marist poll, which finds that only 4% of Democrats say, I don't want the vaccine. And yet 41% of Republicans say they do not plan to get vaccinated. And this truly could lead to more eventual deaths for Republicans than for Democrats, which would, at least to some degree, shift the electoral balance. What I mean by that is, if mostly Republicans are dying once we get to the point at which everyone who wants a vaccine has gotten a vaccine, it seems that would be bad for Republicans in their races. And maybe that and that alone at some point or in some way will influence Republican elected officials to encourage their voters to get vaccinated. But consider the absurdity of this situation. The people who all along have been saying there's really no serious pandemic here. We don't have to do anything special. We don't have to go out of our way to behave any differently, open everything right away, get masks off. Those very people who are the ones that never wanted to wear masks and don't want to get vaccinated are the ones that say open everything. Well, wearing the mask when that was the right thing before we knew that vaccinated people no longer need to wear masks per the CDC, getting vaccinated, that would help us open as quickly as possible. And yet they are refusing to do it. Now, overall, 24% of the entire country does not plan to get vaccinated, which is okay for herd immunity once kids can get vaccinated. What I mean is, if we do vaccinate 76% of all Americans, by all measures, that's enough to completely crush the curve and get to a practical herd immunity. There will be sort of like a super immunity in states where people almost all want to get vaccinated, places like California, New York, Massachusetts, where there's more than 90% interest in vaccination. They will have like a super immunity. On the other hand, you will have cluster outbursts among unvaccinated people in some parts of the country that are not so big on getting themselves vaccinated. But the issue is no longer vaccine supply. And that's maybe one of the most infuriating aspects of this. We have the incredibly fortunate situation that many countries are dreaming of, which is vaccines for everyone. There are countries desperate to get vaccines and start vaccinating people. We have vaccines. All adults are eligible. Anyone 12 and over is eligible for the Pfizer vaccine. In most states, you can now just walk in, no appointment, just go and get a vaccine. And 41% of Republicans just don't want it. And it's a very similar situation with abortion. I've used this analogy before. They say, we want zero abortions. Great. We know how to get in that direction. Give everybody contraception at no cost out of pocket. Teach everybody comprehensive sex education. This reduces the number of unwanted pregnancies and it reduces the demand for abortions. Oh, no, we don't want to do that. That's crazy. That either violates our conscience or it violates our religion or it violates our morality or whatever the case. That's how you reduce abortions, though, and they don't want to do it. And it's the exact same thing here. Hey, we want everything back to normal. Cool. Just wear a mask for now until the CDC says you don't have to. And as soon as you can get yourself vaccinated, get yourself vaccinated. No, not that. That we're not going to do. It is fascinating that many of the same people who believed in hydroxychloroquine, absent any reason to believe in it as a treatment for COVID, don't believe actual science like vaccines. The good news is it's mostly the unvaccinated who remain at risk. Now, it's not 100% like that because there are some people who can't get vaccinated because of specific medical conditions. So you getting vaccinated protects them. There are people, remember, when we say the vaccine is 92 to 95% effective, that means 5 to 8% of people who get the vaccine, but because of a normal bell curve distribution, never develop antibodies, even though they did go and get themselves vaccinated. So do the respectful thing. Do it for your fellow Homo sapiens. Go and get yourself vaccinated, not necessarily or not only because you're assessing your personal risk, but because you're a member of society. You're a member of the human race, and maybe you would do something that has somebody else in mind. I know that that's a crazy idea. So the bad news, 41% of Republicans still don't want the vaccine. The good news, if we are to focus on the good news, is mostly the risk of people not vaccinating is to themselves, although there is still risk to others. And that number has gone down a little bit, 43% to 41%. It's a little bit better. We'll continue to track vaccination numbers and maybe have an update, maybe tomorrow, maybe on Thursday. One of our sponsors is Vincero Watches, giving you 15% off. A high quality wristwatch is the perfect way to elevate your style. Own at least one watch that makes you feel great when you put it on. You can often see me wearing my Vincero watch on the show. Mine is the gunmetal vessel model. I'm a big fan of the metallic look of the face of the watch. I like the silicone strap. You won't find a better made watch for this good a price anywhere else. When you put it on, you know you got more than you paid for. Vincero believes in crafting super quality watches from high-end materials, but selling them at fair prices, which is why they have over 26,000 five-star reviews. And they stand behind every watch they make with a 1-year return policy and 5-year warranty. They'll give you 15% off everything in their store and free shipping at davidpakman.com/watch. Use the coupon code PAKMAN.